Hey, welcome back everybody. Today I wanted to show you guys a Cubano inspired braised brisket sandwich. I've always wanted to try a Cubano, but I don't eat pork, so this is a sort of workaround for myself. We're going to start, of course, with generously salt and peppering our meat. I have about 3.5 pounds of brisket and 1.5 pounds of short ribs. You could use any good braising meat for this. I thought of doing lamb, kind of making a little pita, but ultimately decided against it. Point is, sky's the limit, get creative. This is a larger piece of meat, so as you can see from the mess, I'm going really heavy on the salt. With a bigger piece of meat, definitely don't be afraid of the salt and peppering. Go ahead and put that in a bowl and set that to the side. Let the salt penetrate the meat a little bit and marinate a little bit. And now we're going to move on to charring some peppers. I'm going to use a blowtorch. You can use a burner if you have one, but blowtorch is just so much easier. I have 3 Serrano and 2 Anaheim peppers. Really get the skins nice and black. You can do it on the stovetop. I won't with a torch. Put those in a bowl and cover it with foil. You're going to go ahead and put that aside. The steam from the peppers are going to make the skins a little soft, make it easier to get the skins off of there. As for the rest of the marinade, I'm gonna peel some shallots. You can leave the shallots whole. They're going in a blender, so no need to do any rough chop or anything like that. Just make sure you get all the skin off of there. I've also got 2 heads of garlic. For the garlic, if you have the whole head, you can just push down on them really hard like I'm doing here on the counter. And it can crack the whole head, and the cloves should start to come out pretty easily. Just make sure you gotta put a good amount of pressure on them, and then just getting them out of their peels. Smash them with the flat side of your knife. You can use your palm, but that hurts my palms. We're gonna take those shallots and garlic, put those in a container, and put those off to the side. Working on staying as organized as possible. I want to keep the kitchen as clean as when I started. I'm also going to zest a couple of oranges and limes. I have 3 oranges and 4 limes that I'm going to zest. Trying to use that elbow in technique, not doing a very good job of it. I ended up just doing the lame-o technique of just like getting those patches. If you have any critiques or anything like that, go ahead and give me a comment below. We're gonna get the juices out of these, so get your favorite juicer, coat those limes and oranges in half and start juicing, and then ultimately use your hands instead because it just obliterated the oranges. I ended up getting the juice of about 8 oranges and 10 limes. You really just want a cup of each. So whatever gets you that cup is good. I'm also here de-stemming some mint. And I was also told by my wife that if I don't show you that I wash my mint, you will think that I eat bugs. We do not eat bugs in this house. Don't be like me and forget about the peppers. Grab some paper towels and wipe off the charred bits. It should come off pretty easily. You might have some black fingers. And then use your knife and cut those stems off. Now for the fun part, grab your blender, dump in your shallots, garlic, orange and lime zest and the juice from both of them, and dump in your rinsed and bug-free mint. Lastly, you're going to add about 3 tablespoons of cumin. Blend that on high, and once it's good and blended, pour in your 1 cup of olive oil. Ideally, you should pour your cup of olive oil while it's blending to get a proper emulsification. I didn't have a problem, but ideally that's what you should do. I just did not want to make a mess right now. Now, I almost forgot the peppers. I finished the marinade, mixed it in with the meat, put it in the fridge, and while I was cleaning up, I saw the bowl of peppers mocking me. So I had to pour the marinade back in the blender, and now I'm wondering WTF, did I break it, and why won't it blend? And guess what? I forgot to put a blade in. Don't forget to put a blade in your blender, or else it won't blend. Now that your marinade is done, salt your marinade a bit. There's a lot of salt on the brisket and short rib, so you don't need to salt it too much, but you definitely still want to make sure your marinade is salted. Give it a good mix, and then go ahead and pour that marinade all over your brisket and short rib. Make sure to get it on everything in every corner. Do not leave any bald spots. We want to make sure that every inch of this meat is getting the marinade. Lastly, cover it with plastic wrap and put it in the fridge overnight. It's the next day, so we're going to set our oven to 350. And while that's preheating, let's get the meat and the marinade into a large oven-safe pot. I don't know why I'm letting the marinade drain here. I'm literally going to pour all the liquid into that pot anyways, so I don't know. It's like 1 a.m. at this point. I'm trying to make this before I have to start fasting at 6 a.m. So I'm really like trying to get this done. We're gonna stick it in the oven with the lid on for about 4 to 5 hours. I know here the lid's not on. I forgot to film putting the lid back on after I realized that I didn't have it on. After the 4 to 5 hours, take out your brisket. Now you can revel in the deliciousness that you've just created. I love braising. It's a great way to make a large amount of food, a large amount of flavorful food. And it's always better the next day when the flavors haven't had the chance to meld in the fridge. Give that a slice, and you know, it's not the most tender brisket I've ever made, but it'll do the job for 5 a.m. As you can see, I'm gonna give this a good thumbs up. Now, on to making our sandwich. Fry up some beef bacon until it's crispy. I'm gonna toast the buns in that beef fat. Not gonna waste any of that good fat that we rendered from the beef bacon. Make sure those sides are nice and crispy. I'm gonna put some mayo on one side of the bun, some mustard on the other. Go in with your bacon. A nice pile of brisket. Really be generous with that brisket. You spent a lot of time on it, a lot of hard work on it. Next up, some dill pickles. Give it that real brininess. Lastly, you're gonna put your cheese on, and you can stick it on the broil. I went with a torch, and go ahead and put that on top. I've gotta say, this is a great sandwich. It's rich, it's fatty, it's salty, briny. It's got everything that you've want in a sandwich. Got a nice little cross section there. It was really good, probably one of the best sandwiches I've ever had. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Give a like and subscribe if you did. And give me a comment below if you end up trying this. Appreciate you guys. Thank you.